Today, we're diving into some really powerful excerpts from a manuscript called The Sorting House. It imagines this group of elderly Poles, right? And they've been hired by the EU for this absolutely monumental task to digitize the paper ghosts of Europe's most painful century. The story kicks off with this line. Right away, you just feel it. It sets this stark, heavy tone. It tells you we're not just in some building. We're in a place where history is cold, heavy, and you just can't escape it. And there he is. This is our guide, Oskar, 87 years old. His body is failing, but his mind, his memory, is about to be put through the ultimate test. And his job, it's not just shuffling papers. It's existential. He has to sort the lives and the deaths of millions. You know, the setting itself is basically a character in this story. It's an old margarine factory in Gdańsk, just a concrete box that's seen a lot, now filled with the paper remnants of Europe's collective trauma. This is a place where the past isn't just something you remember, it's physically stored right there in front of you. And the scale of this project? It's just staggering. We're talking about everything from the start of World War I all the way to the fall of the Berlin Wall. Every single ration card, every deportation order, every party membership form. It's a history of unbelievable violence, all told through the boring, mundane language of bureaucracy. So on the surface, the job looks pretty clinical, right? It's detached, you follow the steps, you assign some codes, you move on. The system was clearly designed by people who, as Oskar points out, probably never touched a real historical document in their lives. The whole process wants you to see the paper, not the person behind it. But here's the reality of it. Here's the human element. Werner, another sorter, gives Oskar this warning. And that is the central conflict of the entire story, isn't it? The official rule is to stay detached, but it's a human impossibility. How could you not read them? And get this, the people doing the sorting, they are walking, talking history books themselves. Every single one of them carries a piece of that complicated century inside them. You've got a printer from a failed state, a censor who spent her life reading other people's secrets, a man whose survival strategy was to be invisible. They aren't just sorting history, they are history. So, of course, what happens? They break the number one rule. They read. And the moment they do, these papers stop being data. They become voices. Each one a tiny testament to a life, saying, I was here, I endured. And then it happens. The past slams right into the present for our narrator, Oskar. History is no longer some abstract collection of papers on a table. Suddenly, it's his own father's signature on a Nazi party application. A man he thought he knew, now sorted into a category that's impossible to ignore. You know, Oskar's reaction here is so fascinating. You'd expect shock, right? Or betrayal. But what he feels is this grim resignation, a feeling of course. He realizes that in this part of the world, if you dig deep enough into anyone's family, you're gonna find this kind of complicity. It's not the exception, it's the norm. But the gut punches just keep coming. Soon after finding his father's file, he finds his mother's side of the story, a great-aunt's name, Maria Cernenka, on a transport list. And the destination? Stutthof concentration camp, just 40 kilometers from where he's sitting. Imagine that. And right here, you see exactly how a life can be just unraveled through paperwork. First, a denied request to marry a Jewish man, then a reassignment to forced labor, and finally, just a name on a list. Her love, her life, and her death, all reduced to a series of cold administrative actions. And this is where Elżbieta, the oldest and wisest of the group, just cuts right to the heart of it all. The very system that documented Maria's life is the same one that engineered her death. It can remember the number, the data point, but it takes a human to remember the person. That's the sorter's true, unofficial job. So you can imagine Oskar's discovery just blows the doors wide open for everyone else. Sorting the past forces them all to face their own histories. And it leads to this series of confessions, where everybody starts revealing the complicated truths they've kind of edited out of their own life stories. And the stories that come out, wow, they're just staggering. Hannah reveals her father was both a resistance hero and a murderer. Werner admits he was a coward who kept believing in the East German system long after he knew it was a lie. Jadwiga's family literally erased a letter from their name to sound less Jewish. And Bogdan reveals his own brother informed on him for a pack of cigarettes. And then this quiet plea comes from Bogdan, the guy who survived by being a nobody. He gets what these documents do. They flatten people.
They turn them into types. So his request to Oskar, who started writing everything down, is simple. Undo that damage. Restore the complexity, the contradictions, the humanity.
But just as they start doing this incredibly vital human work of witnessing, the whole project gets shut down. Yep, the EU decides it's cheaper and faster to let an AI finish the job. The human sorters, with all their messy, complicated, crucial context, are being replaced.
And this really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? The contrast isn't just about efficiency, it's about what they're actually doing. The sorters witness, they remember, they feel the weight of it all. The algorithm, it just scans and codes. What gets lost in that translation? Probably everything that matters.
Elżbieta, once again, just puts it all into perspective. She's a realist. She knows their work won't stop future wars. But it does something else, something absolutely essential. It gives the dead the honor of being seen. It's a small act of defiance against the huge gaping void of being forgotten. And then, in this final stunning confession, Elżbieta reveals that this ghost she's always talked about, this noon wraith, was actually her mother. Her mother was shot by the Nazis for hiding a Jewish family. So Elżbieta's entire life, it's been an attempt to live up to her mother's bravery, to witness injustice and never, ever look away. The story leaves us with the very same question Elżbieta's mother asked her in that vision. It's a question about the weight of survival, the responsibility of memory, and really the purpose of a life that's lived in the shadow of so much history. It asks, what does it truly mean to be a witness? And what will you do with the time that you have left?